You're scaring people. Do you really want to scare your own people this much? He talks about homegrowns are next. I mean, people are scared, not just illegal immigrants, and a lot of them are working. I live in L.A. They're the only people here who do work.
So here's what you don't know. First of all, President Trump has promised we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats, right? And the data shows that every morning I look at 22 pages of data. The last time I looked at data was the day before yesterday. 70% of everybody arrested is a criminal. 70%. Who's the other 30%? A lot of them are national security threats. We've arrested thousands of national security threats. Most of them don't have criminal histories because they're laying low.
Political commentator and wealthy elitist Bill Maher tries to guilt-trip Americans into accepting mass amnesty using tired emotional tricks. But Tom Homan swiftly dismantles his talking points with cold, undeniable facts, exposing how spineless virtue signaling collapses under the weight of reality. On NERC News, iNERCish, observe the elites once again recycling the same worn-out amnesty arguments we've heard for decades, as Democrats, running out of logic, retreat behind emotional appeals, while ignoring the real damage their policies create. Here, we see Maher's cheap labor narrative utterly destroyed by Homan and his hard-hitting crime statistics.
That we need some immigration. Like we used to have a quota, like 1 million people a year. Say that's the right number.
We still do. We're the most giving nation in the entire world.
Okay, so let's say it's that. And we went overboard for the last 4 years under Biden, and we let in too many. Wouldn't it be smarter now to say, now that it's zero, let's let that even out? We were going to have 1 or 2 million every year, but we let in 10 million. Instead of uprooting all these people now, why not just an amnesty? Okay, it's not exactly kosher how you got here, but the amount of people you're scaring. I mean, I'm going to say to you the thing I said to him when I had dinner with him that horrible night. And, they hated it that I reported it honestly, that he does listen. And he looks you in the eye. And he not got mad one time when we were arguing about anything I contradicted him.
But let me get to the point, though. If you want to send a message to the whole world, cross the border illegally, it's a crime, but it's okay. Have due process, get order removed by an immigration judge, don't leave, it's okay. Just don't commit another crime and you're good to go. If that's the message we send to the whole world, people are going to keep coming. And let me tell you something, illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. But the reason I am who I am, I've talked and got on my knees and talked to 9-year-old little girls who were raped by multiple members of a cartel just for passing her across the river. I stood in back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead people who baked to death. I ran Operation Ice Storm in Phoenix, Arizona, where smuggling organizations were ripping each other's off because the smuggled people were worth more money than dope. So they go to the house and rip each other off. They call a relative up and say, I have your brother here. You owe us $25,000. They say, no, we agreed on 10. Well, now it's $25,000. You pay it or I kill him. And they did. Bodies are piling up. They actually called relatives and tortured their son or their brother because they didn't pay the fees. What I'm saying is, that's what you have to show. There's consequences. Because if you send a message, there's no consequences, and you want to reward illegal behavior, that's not going to stop.
Right. And for all that, I thank you for your service.
This is exactly what happens when the ruling class treats immigration like a feel-good charity project for their own profit. Maher frames it as if hardworking Americans should gladly accept mass amnesty simply to satisfy him and his wealthy liberal friends' desire for endless pools of compliant, cheap labor. He is the same person who mocked British citizens for claiming they no longer recognized their own country, and even boasted about the decline of natural-born citizens as if it were something to celebrate, showing a complete lack of understanding of culture or the meaning of a nation. Americans never signed up to become a permanent servant economy, and the fact that Maher cannot answer or challenge Homan only underscores how shallow and backward his politics truly.
What we also see is people being just taken away who are just regular day workers. The waitress who worked for 14 years at some coffee shop, and everybody's like, oh, you know what? We voted to get rid of the bad people, the people you were just talking about, but not Carol. What's going on there? Don't you think it's been a little heavy-handed? Don't you think you've picked up a bunch of people who shouldn't be picked up at all? It doesn't seem like it was done with a scalpel.
What I think about every day is, again, we prioritize the worst first, and the numbers show we do it. What I've said from day one, if you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. You know why? Because there are millions of people standing in line, taking their tests, doing the background investigations, paying their fees to be part of the greatest nation on earth. If you want to be a part of the greatest nation on earth, there's a right way and wrong way to do it. If you like it or not, the ones who are here illegally cheated the system. They moved themselves to the front of the line, and they've overwhelmed the immigration court system back 9-10 years, which means the people who are really trying to come here the right way are sitting in the back of the bus. Right? It's just like what people don't talk about. These 10 million, 10.5 million came to the border in Biden. Well, they're asylum seekers. What people don't understand, if you look at immigration court data over the last 10 years, nearly 9 out of 10 of them will get an order removal. because they don't qualify for support asylum. They're not escaping fear and persecution from the home government because of race, religion, political affiliation. They come here for a better life, and I get that. But while they're clogging up the system and cheating the system, there are literally thousands of people in this world that really are escaping fear and persecution from their home countries that are sitting in the back of the bus. Yeah. So there's a reason we're a nation of laws. And if you or people don't like what ICE is doing, they go scream at Congress. We're enforcing law today in that.
Well, I hope it all gets better. I thank you for coming.
This is where liberals expose just how dangerously disconnected they are from the realities most Americans face. Maher complains about enforcement tactics without grasping the overwhelming scale of the crisis. Millions of people are here illegally, stretching schools, hospitals, and job markets to the breaking point. The left endlessly laments the supposed fears of migrants, yet remains deaf to the very real anxieties of hardworking Americans who see their communities transformed overnight, forced to shoulder the economic and social burdens of mass immigration. Meanwhile, any voice calling for accountability or border security is smeared as cruel or xenophobic. Even as violent Antifa mobs shut down facilities, militias openly trained to confront federal agents, and a recent extremist attack laden with anti-Semitic symbols and deadly intent underscores the chaos left unchecked. This is not compassion. It is reckless disregard for public safety, economic stability, and social cohesion. Americans deserve secure borders, functioning institutions, and a labor market that rewards their effort, not open-door policies dictated by elite billionaires who want mass amnesty simply to score political points against Trump. The stakes are enormous. It is not just a debate over policy, but a fight over whether common sense governance or radical ideology will shape the future of this country. Every day that enforcement is ignored, every time violence is excused, the cost is borne by ordinary citizens who are told their fears are invalid while lawlessness thrives. So, should America cave to the demands of wealthy elites and activists simply because they disagree with one political figure? Think carefully about the answer. And for those following along, if this analysis resonates, please like and subscribe. Truly helps the channel continue to report boldly. Until next time, this has